Alright, what is going on YouTube? Adonis coming back at you with a brand new video, and today we've got some more budget beasts for you. And as per usual, we're starting off at the wide receiver position. We are going to be taking a look at T. Higgins. Now, while this card might not jump out to you from a speed standpoint, his jumping at 90 is freaking phenomenal. He's also got amazing catching traffic, amazing catching stats. His route runnings are certainly not amazing, but if you want a jump ball receiver that can essentially just go up and get it with that 90 jumping, like this is going to be your guy. Very solid card, pretty cool card art as well. Not a bad player to add to your squad. Now coming in at our halfback position, we've got Travis Etienne Jr. 88 speed on this guy with 90 excel. Makes him just a really good back. His change of direction is pretty solid at 86. Break tackle is good at 82. He's a little bit more expensive than I would like, sitting closer to that 100K price point. But if you just need a speed back that can catch the ball decently well, 64 catching is not amazing, it'll do the job. So if you need a speed back that can run the ball decently well, has, good enough juke moves to get the job done, then this is gonna be your guy. Another honorable mention for halfback is going to also be Breece Hall. Just doesn't have the speed compared to Travis's card, so I would go with Travis as they're about at the same price. Coming over to the tight end spot, we've actually got Darren Waller. Now this card is obviously still a little bit out of that budget range, at above 130K or at 130K at this point, but still a very, very solid receiver. 90 medium route running, 86 speed. Notice how I said receiver. 63 run block, 67 strength, not really going to get the job done, but his route runnings being as good as they are, and his catching traffic and spec catch being as good as they are, make him a very solid receiver. 6'6", 255. If you're not shelling out the 300 plus K for Kyle Pitts at this point, I think that Darren Waller is a very, very solid option for you guys. Now at the quarterback position, we really don't have all that many options. Aaron Rodgers is like 130K. Terry Bradshaw is 130 plus K. Then we get down towards like T-Law is getting closer to like 200K. We go to the 87s. I spoke about all of these guys pretty much in my last video. Mac Jones is the only new addition. Really not going to be a great card. I would say quarterback is something you should not cheap out on. Now moving over to the defensive side of the ball, obviously we've got like Merrick's a great player. Troy Polamalu's card, that 86 is not very good. Cam's still solid if you need like a hitter down below, but Jalen Petre's card is actually really, really solid. 88 speed, 90 excel with pretty solid zone coverage. His man coverage leaves a little to be desired. Is again gonna play pretty well for you, I would say. Put him in a deep third, let him go to work, he's gonna be fine. Put him in an underneath zone, he's gonna be fine as well. Very solid card. Not gonna be the best against the run, even though he is a strong safety, because he is 5'11", 195, so his build is definitely smaller in game, but means if you pick the ball off, he's gonna be a little bit smoother to move around with. As we can see, his change of direction here is an 87 overall. Very, very solid budget option at strong safety. Coming over to the cornerback position, we have a couple of guys, but I think Sean Murphy-Bunting is gonna be the best overall card. 86 man is gonna be like enough to get it done with 88 speed. That zone is just not very good, so this guy's gonna be a man cornerback pretty much all the way, but he's gonna be able to move pretty well. He's also got pretty solid jumping at a 90 overall. Just a solid all-around card. Change of direction being an 85 is pretty solid as well. It means he's gonna be able to break on the ball decently well. Again, not a card that's gonna be insanely good, but for 100K, you really can't ask for all that much more at this point in the year. Sean Murphy-Bunting, definitely a card that I would pick up if I was kind of low on coins and needed a better cornerback. Another DB that's kind of, I gotta just put it out there, Marcus Peters, gonna be essentially Sean Murphy-Bunting, but a little bit better. Pretty much almost the exact same player, right? 6 foot, 197, 88 speed, 85 change of direction, right? So pretty much the same player in essence, except Marcus just has better man, better zone. I don't know if he has as good of press, and his jumping's like very similar. Overall, like if you put these two guys on receivers and you have deep safeties, they're gonna be good to go, right? You're not gonna be able to run them in like a pure man blitz scheme. They are gonna get torched off the line, but if you have safeties over the top protecting them, they should be good to go. I think Marcus Peters is definitely a card I would look at picking up, as I do have him in my squad, and he does play pretty well for me as of right now. Now, when looking at like the free safety position, there's not a whole lot here, right? We've got like base Minka, Paul Krause is like all right. This Ed Reed's still very solid. Malik Hooker is one that I would definitely look at picking up. I've talked about him in my previous videos. Very, very just solid all-around card, right? 87 zone, 87 speed. He's big, right? He's 6'1", 212. Feels like he's 220 in the game. He can hit for sure. Like definitely not a bad option. He shouldn't be at this 150K price point. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why that is. That's probably because I'm on PC right now. But I would definitely argue that Malik would be a very solid card for a lot of you guys to pick up if you're looking for like a good user or someone you can just kind of drop down into those low cover 2 or cover 3 zones. Not going to have to cover a whole lot of field, but it is going to be able to animate on stuff as he is a decently big player. Change of direction also being an 85, very solid on a user at this point in the year. Again, can't recommend Malik Hooker enough. Always has amazing cards, and I love this guy in real life. You know, just a very, very solid all-around player that I'm happy he's getting good cards in Madden. Coming over to right outside linebacker, we've got Jaylen Phillips, right? This card is so interesting to me, right? He's got really high finesse moves, but he's got like meh block shed, but he's got really solid speed, and his measurables at 6'5", 260 are phenomenal. I think that cards like this play very well this year, in my opinion at least. Like, I've rocked some players that have like lower block shed but higher finesse moves and higher speed, and they've played exceptionally well, and I feel like that Jaylen Phillips would play just like that. He's got 81 change of direction, so a very solid, you know, change of direction, especially for a linebacker. Not going to be a guy who's sticking coverage, but if you ask him to go at the quarterback, he's gonna go at the quarterback. Definitely a budget beast I would keep my eye on. Again, these guys are all going to be around 100K. There's no real like underrated budget beast at this point outside of skill positions. You need to invest in positions like outside linebacker and your defensive line essentially, because if not, you're just going to get blown up every play. Like, those guys, there is no underrated cards when it comes to people that you essentially aren't using every play in Madden. Now, coming over to left outside linebacker, we've got D-Ware. Very, very solid card, obviously, you know, one of the better cards in Madden early in the year, and now he's dropping closer to that like sub 100K range almost. I feel like this might be a snipe. I feel like I should buy this for the sake of the video, but I'm not gonna. D-Ware, I mean, like, look at this card. 89 block shed, 90 finesse moves. Like, dude is gonna get after the quarterback. Don't put him on the inside. He won't play very well. He's like too small to play interiorly, but you put him on the edge with that 86 speed with 89 excel, he's gonna go to work for you guys. Definitely a player I would keep my eye on as prices continue to drop lower and lower and lower. Coming to our left end spot, we got full Javon Curse. A little bit of a dated card, but for 100K, I mean, 88 block shed, 88 finesse moves, 6'4", 265. I come up against this card all the freaking time. He is still just an absolute monster to try to defend against. 86 change of direction on a defensive end. This dude is unbelievable to play against. Trust me, like, he's a pain in the ass coming off the edge. He will shed if people start trying to roll out of the pocket, and with that change of direction, he'll be able to hawk down the quarterback, no problem. If you guys are looking for a solution at edge, at like edge rusher specifically, not at like a run stuffing edge, definitely take a look at Javon Curse. Coming over to defensive tackle, I think we have one of the more underrated cards at this point in the year. It's Javon Hardgrave, coming in at 88 finesse moves with 86 block shed. He is a speed rushing defensive tackle. I've spoken about this card a number of times. Amazing, amazing card. 6'2", 305, gets to the quarterback really well, forces pressure from inside and out as opposed to outside and in, which is very rare to find within a Madden game, and it kind of throws people off when they're coming up against you. Definitely recommend people take a look at this Javon Hardgrave card. Absolutely amazing. And that is gonna be the video, guys. I do hope you did enjoy this one. This was a lot of fun for me to make, kind of just going over who's underrated, who's cheap now, who should you buy. Overalls have not gone up in like a month, I want to say. Maybe a little less than a month, but like a couple of weeks at least. So these 87, 88, 89 overall cards are still very feasible, and a lot of them are lower in price, in my opinion, than they should be. There you guys have it. I do hope you did enjoy this video. Drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.